When I was little, summers in Ukraine felt endless. The air smelled like wheat and wildflowers, and my grandparents' garden, where they grew the tastiest carrots and juiciest strawberries, was true paradise on earth. Ukraine, a land of black soil so fertile they call it Chernobyl, has always been known as the breadbasket of Europe. My family's life in Ukraine often felt distant and hard to comprehend when I was little. All Ukraine was to me was a place I visited every summer and got to spend time with my family. It was simply a place filled with summer memories, just like the memories of a certain beach your family vacations at, or a special location you travel to often to just get away. For me, Ukraine didn't truly become home until I realized it could be lost. Until I learned that the same land that gave us so much life, the fields, the rivers, and the soil itself, has carried unimaginable pain. This story is about how that land and its scars, from the shadow of Chernobyl to the scars of today's war, and how, through it all, people continue to love and care for the land that sustains them. My babushka used to tell me stories about the land, how everything we have comes from the earth, the potatoes, the wheat, and even the air we breathe. But sometimes her voice would grow quiet. She'd look out the window and say, Chernobyl wasn't far from here, less than 100 miles. I didn't understand what that meant. Only later did I realize how much the Chernobyl disaster impacted them.
On April 26, 1986, it blew up and caught fire. The unlucky few who dealt with the worst of the cleanup died from radiation sickness. Everyone else in the vicinity was evacuated to escape the worst of the fallout. There remains a 1,000 square mile exclusion zone
power
all
station.
around the
One
plant.
of the atomic reactors was damaged.
Human error stretches the limits of technology again when the cooling system in the number 4 power reactor at Chernobyl fails, heating the fuel rods to over 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit and causing a massive meltdown. The buildup of gases in the reactor blows the roof off the building, beginning the rapid spread of huge clouds of deadly radiation into the atmosphere. The most feared condition in the field of nuclear energy has finally happened.
I asked my papa a question. How did the Chernobyl disaster affect you? He said,
These are extremely difficult memories. Our lives changed at its core. People had to leave their homes, their land, their animals. I had to help with the evacuations of everyone from the 30-kilometer zone, as, working in the police, this was our area.
in April of 1986, the sky over northern Ukraine, which was part of the Soviet Union then, changed forever. A reactor exploded in Chernobyl, releasing clouds of invisible poison that spread across the land. My mother was only 9 years old. For weeks, no one told the truth. Children still played outside, gardens still bloomed, but the air itself was radioactive. My grandparents remember the silence that followed. Neighbors packing quickly, leaving homes behind. Some never came back. In 1991, Ukraine finally became independent. The flag of Ukraine represents its people's hope for peaceful blue skies and plentiful wheat harvest. For the first time in generations, people could dream freely. The earth, too, began to heal, with hope. But not for long. Ukraine's rich natural sources became a sight to covet.
That a residential
Bleeding at a catastrophic rate. Tens of thousands have abandoned their posts. Reports from the front line say that entire units are vanishing from defensive lines. And on the Eastern Front, Russian forces are advancing at the fastest pace in over 2 years. The brutal mathematics of attrition, warfare.
New fires burn on the same land. The Russian invasion and war have torn through Ukraine's fields and forests, leaving behind not only human suffering, but environmental wounds. Oil leaking into rivers, soil laced with shrapnel and landmines, animals fleeing from the noise of war. Yet, people don't lose hope. Many, like my aunt and her family, stayed because they loved their country and their land.
Я українка, народилася і дуже люблю і пишаюся своєю рідною землею. У нас дуже трудолюбивий народ, але, на жаль,
I'm a Ukrainian. I was born here and love and I am proud of my motherland. Our people are very hardworking. Unfortunately, our world turned upside down when on February 24, 2022, Russians invaded our land. Since then, every day we live under the missiles, shots, and drone strikes. Most of each day, we have to live in shelters. Our children are suffering, our seniors are suffering, but I am not exaggerating when I say the whole world is suffering. Our streets are trashed with shrapnel and fields are infested with mines. The missiles came flying, filled with chemical weapons, and polluted our air. Our river dams have been bombed and destroyed, contributing to the destruction of habitats all around them. I can confidently say that what is happening in Ukraine is not just a local conflict. It affects all of humanity. Our people are dying, but the whole planet is suffering.
By some estimates, Ukraine has $10 trillion worth of mineral deposits, and this includes a wide range of materials and minerals that are really crucial for any modern economy like the US's, both in terms of civilian things and also for the military. Let's go through a list.
And moments ago, I also signed an executive order to
Beneath the
dramatically
rich
increase
black
production
soil
of
lies
critical
more than
minerals
wheat and
rare
water.
earths. It's a big
Ukraine
thing
holds some of the
in this
richest
country, and as
deposits
you know,
of
we're
rare
also
minerals in
signing
Europe:
agreements
lithium,
in various
titanium,
locations
iron,
to
and coal.
unlock
These are the
rare
resources that
earths
power
and
modern
minerals
economies,
lots
that
of
make
other
batteries,
things all over the
machines,
world,
and
but,
weapons.
in particular,
Some say
Ukraine,
that
we're
this
doing
war
very
is
well
also a
with
struggle
regard
for what
to
lies
Ukraine
underground,
and Russia.
for energy,
And
for
one of the
profit,
things we are
for
doing
control
is
of the
signing a deal
future.
very shortly
Deals
with,
are whispered
respect
between
to
nations, even as villages crumble. The same soil that once gave life is now fought over like treasure.
Something will be done that's going to be satisfactory to everybody. We need peacekeeping too. It's actually something I did discuss, but a form of peacekeeping that's acceptable.
Even as
to everybody
bombs fall
ultimately
and
will be
cities
able to
burn,
agree.
the people of Ukraine continue to rebuild, to plant, and to love the soil that was scarred by humanity. But true restoration cannot come through their survival efforts alone. It demands peace. Not silence, but peace born of justice and compassion. This war must end. The earth must be allowed to heal. To those who watch from afar, remember, the soil is not divided by borders. When one land burns, the whole earth grieves. The whole humanity suffers. Let this be a time we choose life.